As marketers, we're usually concerned with the value of our traffic and our campaigns. In Google Analytics, we can see the value of our traffic and our campaigns in the conversions area under multi-channel funnels. This gives us a view of the contribution of the different channels, of the different campaigns, keywords and actions that we marketers drive that will ultimately lead to a conversion. In our overview area, a key point about multi-channel funnels is actually what are the conversions we're tracking. You can toggle this around by either tracking e-commerce or your goals here. Now bear in mind that if you're tracking both and it defaults to both, it over reports because an e-commerce transaction and possibly a purchase complete would be somewhat similar. Let's just remove the goal stuff and look purely at e-commerce. When we have e-commerce selected, we have this nice Venn diagram here that shows the relationship between our three top channels here, which would be direct referral and organic search, where they interact, and the percentages in all of the different segments of the Venn diagram itself. It's a useful visualization tool, and we're able to see things like our click assisted conversions and our number of conversions. Let's dive a little bit further into assisted conversions. Assisted conversions show us the number again of our selected transaction or conversion type, the grouping that led to assisted conversions. Paid search might have been the channel that drove a number of direct conversions, so the last click before someone converts was a paid search click. It also assisted in 8 conversions along the way too, so it has a contribution to other channels converting. This is what this assisted conversions report does. It shows us how other channels contribute by bringing people into the funnel, but they may not have had the last click before the conversion, but they did feature in the journey. And if we want to see some of the journeys, we can dive in here into our top conversion paths. So this shows the type of journeys that people took. So we had a referral, then direct, and then 12 people converted off that particular path. For paid search, 2 people converted off 2 paid search clicks. For 10 people, it was referral and then direct twice. And we're able to see the different journeys, the different types of journeys that people take and the value of each by sorting by our conversion value here. So organic search to direct drives a good bit of revenue, but only 5% of conversions. So understanding this journey and maybe amplifying this journey could drive more revenue for us because we know it has a high revenue rate, as opposed to something like direct organic direct, which has a lower revenue rate. Now, not statistically significant because it's only one conversion, but referral direct to does account for 10% of all conversions and is relatively low. This is not a valuable conversion path. Direct paid search to, not statistically significant, although does drive a good bit of revenue. So we do know that there's high value in paid search as an assisting channel here in the top conversion paths. We're also able to see our time lag. This is the amount of time between our first interaction and our conversion. So a lot of people are converting just on the first day, so the day they land on the page. Then, as you can see, as we go up, there are different conversion rates, different values. People who convert between 12 and 30 days have a significant amount, but you'll find that when you expand this by pressing the plus, it just happens to be that it groups lots and lots of individual conversions together, and that's why it's so big. Then we have our path length report, which shows us the number of interactions that people take before they make a conversion. So how many interactions? We had 12 plus, there was only one person that did it, and the conversion value actually was quite low. So the fewer interactions in this case, the higher the conversion, but we have to understand that in the context that the majority of people convert on the first day, where they will have fewer interactions. So the key is driving significant numbers of direct traffic that does convert for you. Also bearing in mind, we do know from other reporting that repeat visitors do have the higher percentage likelihood of converting. We just need to understand what a repeat visitor is. Is a repeat visitor on the same day or a repeat visitor on other days? That is broadly the multi-channel funnels area of the conversions tab, which gives us marketers an idea of the ecosystem of our marketing activities. We also need to understand more about attribution. So what attribution is how we give credit to the different channels. The default attribution model on Google Analytics is last click interaction, where the last channel before the sale or before the goal completion gets all of the credit for the sale itself. But we might want to look at comparing our last interaction with something like our first interaction. So what opened the sale? So we can see that in terms of first interaction, referral is far more valuable. So when we compare first interaction to last interaction, we're able to see that organic search tends to open a lot of purchases, far more than it actually completes itself. So direct closes a lot of conversions, but it doesn't open a lot of conversions because its first interaction rate is far lower. It's 60% lower than the last interaction rate. Now that makes sense, because if people don't know your brand, if they haven't understood your marketing material, they're not going to just go direct to your site. Whereas these marketing channels are far more likely to open the conversation. They will feature in the last interaction piece, but not as heavily as direct in that regard. So to understand the value of what your channels, your marketing channels contribute to the overall conversion piece, you can compare a number of different models here. The models we have are last click or last interaction, last non-direct click, last Google Ads click, our first interaction, linear, where every single interaction along the way gets the same amount of credit. Then we have time decay, where credit changes over time and is applied based on the distance between the first and the last interaction. And then we have position based, where the first and the last interaction get the majority of credit and a little bit is given to the channels along the way. There are also things around data-driven attribution, which is available in things like Analytics 360 and the higher attribution modeling platforms. But play around with the attribution models just to understand how the different channels can be compared and understood in terms of what they deliver, a last, first, or assisting conversion along the way. It allows us marketers to better understand the ecosystem of marketing and conversions.